So why am I here?
This is fun. All right, October 2nd, 2021. So when my son Josh started welding school in 2019, I went to school and I was totally blown away, and I went through and got a welding certification. I've had very few opportunities to get the welder out and MIG weld, but I've got a great project with my buddy Michael Kugel. So these are, I want you to come around to here so you can get a good look at this. These are the rudder pedals for an experimental airplane called the VP2 or the Volksplane 2. And what I want to really have Josh highlight here or get in close on is something called the heat affected zone. So when you weld with this kind of chromoly steel, like with this airplane, thin wall here, thick wall here. Can you see that okay, Josh?
Yeah.
When you weld this stuff, you gotta heat it. And Ed Anderson, shout out to my teacher, rock star welder that he is, he went to great effort, or we together went to great effort, so I'd have chromoly available to practice with so I can get into aircraft construction. But this is where the heat affected zone got brittle, and I think this weld is probably 20 to 40 years old. I don't know. The owner, Michael Kugel, can clarify, but this has failed in that brittle area, and I would not have liked to have been the dude in command of that aircraft when it failed. But here's the magic of what I call sleeving. Sleeving is done with this piece here. So this is the exact inside diameter of this tube. So we're going to drop this in like this and position it and get the gap right compared to what Michael had before, and then this is going to get tacked into place. This washer is here as a gusset. I may not need to actually install that when I actually do this. Now, I still have some work to do, but essentially I'm going to Dremel that hole larger so that this piece drops all the way down. Now, here's how I'm going to accomplish that. I'm going to sleeve on the inside. I'm going to drop that into the hole that I've created there, and I think this fits perfectly already. I think I made this for the inner sleeve to drop in. That's a little tight. I've got a Dremel tool here to make that a little bigger. And effectively what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill right through and I'm going to weld the circumference here, and then I'm going to tack this in place to fill this massive gap in the steel that's going to keep me from having to rebuild this whole component. What I'm going to end up with is spot welds around this perimeter, and then I'm going to have an outer. So this piece is going to drop in to that hole, get tack welded in place, and then I have this component. I think I might have already cut a piece for this, but there's a piece that's bigger than the outside diameter. I'm pretty sure this is the piece. I've got another piece, but I've already cut it to size that's basically going to drop in over the outside, and that's going to be what I'm going to... No, I know what it was. I had a piece there to drop over that, and then that's going to drop in down tight. And once I have these all tacked together, this and this will be joined, and then the inner will drop down to the bottom. I'll drill through so that I can weld here and then weld around the perimeter up here. And the key to success is this, MAP gas. That torch, I'm going to take it up to between 500 and 700 degrees, below, right below where it would start turning red, and then let it come down in temperature a little bit, and then I'll start tacking. The idea being that that will spread out that heat affected zone and prevent it from being brittle in the end. The true test of good MIG welds on chromoly is that when you bang on it, if it's not hot, you can actually snap it off, just like this. But when you've got the heat in the steel, it will bend and not fail. And I'm going to add, I would say, 3 times as much steel to this joint than there was originally. So here I am on the prairie. I'm with Josh. It's October 2nd, and it's over 80 degrees. It's 7 p.m. Central. Winter's coming, but we're pushing it off as far as we can. Thanks for listening.